A pleasant afternoon. I'm Vanessa Gendap. My major is accounting, and my goal is to be a successful accountant locally or internationally, whichever fate brings me. And what something interesting about me is I love to travel a full 1,000 miles away from home just to get this education. So have a pleasant afternoon.
Hi, my name is Paul. I'm a psychology major and a junior here at UTSA. I hope to get a job within the entertainment industry, either as an actor or a writer, but preferably both. Something interesting about me, I've written and directed an original play in high school back in 2011, and right now I'm working on a TV sitcom pilot script.
Hi, my name is Chad Reid. My major is business management. My career goals is I'd like to own multiple franchises for Massage Heights or open my own business consulting firm. And then something interesting about me is I used to be in the shows at Six Flags Fiesta Texas for about 4 years.
Hi, I'm Joshua Wilson. My major is marketing. Um, I would like to eventually have my own marketing firm. Something interesting about myself is that in high school, I was the only black guy, and also now I am the only black guy in my fraternity. Ironic.
So a little background into McDonald's as a company. Ray Kroc is actually the owner and the founder of McDonald's Corporation. Back in 1954, he actually worked for a company that sold multi-mixers for restaurants, and he got a big order from a restaurant in San Bernardino, California. Dick and Mac McDonald, who were the owners of the small restaurant, they specialized in burgers, fries, and beverages. That was it. It allowed them to focus on the quality, which is kind of ironic since the quality's gone downhill since then. However, in 1955, he pitched his vision to expand nationally to Dick and Mac, and then he established the McDonald's Corporation. 5 years later, he bought the exclusive rights to the name.
The incident was 10 minority employees were fired or quit because of race or harassment in an attempt to get the ghetto out of the store. A lawsuit was filed against the franchisee for alleged wrongful termination. If I had a brick for every time I repeated the phrase quality, service, cleanliness, and value, I think I'd probably be able to bridge the Atlantic Ocean with them. Ray Kroc. The people who were impacted were the shareholders and employees. The shareholders' prices dropped from $1.40 to $1.13 per share. The employees thus became more of a negative place to work.
Part of the irony of this whole situation is that the president and CEO of the McDonald's Corporation is a man by the name of Don Thompson, who is actually an African American gentleman. So here you can actually see a couple of the core values that are listed on the McDonald's website. The first one is we are committed to our people. We like to provide an opportunity, nurture talent, and work together in an environment that fosters respect. In this case, we can tell that's not necessarily true as far as these franchises go. And then he also goes on to say, we operate our business ethically. We hold ourselves to higher standards and conduct our business out of fairness, honesty, and integrity. Again, kind of funny.
The implications towards the McDonald's effect on it is the sales drop for the past year, but it's not known if the incident has something to do with it. The legal implications is about the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibits the discrimination in employment on the basis of race, color, sex, or ethnic origin. Leadership implications. McDonald's CEO has remained silent on this lawsuit for the purposes of being safe, that we don't want to, well, for legal purposes, you don't really want to speak out too much, so you're going to stay out of trouble, and you in business purposes always remains on private usually. So it's expected for them not to speak up.
So the argument for this story, scientific research confirms racial discrimination in the workplace exists. We found a sociology article that talked about, how African Americans and Hispanics have higher rates of discrimination, in comparison to their white counterparts in employment opportunities. The franchisee store's ethical values should always be consistent with the parent company's ethical values because you are representing the company itself. You are not a different company, so you should be always consistent. As such, McDonald's should be working closer with the franchisee locations to ensure consistency among all locations. So for the counter argument, we found McDonald's and the franchisee are in fact separate entities. So McDonald's doesn't need to dictate the individual's values for its franchisee stores. Likewise, McDonald's isn't responsible for what goes on in its franchisee location. So chapter 1 of the book discusses meta-ethics, and that is defined as where the ideas of ethics and morality originate from. There is a clear, very, very clear distinction between McDonald's corporate ethics and the franchisee's ethics, as noted previously in this presentation. Clearly, the morality of discrimination is clearly, very, very clearly not the same between corporate and the franchisee. There's a very clear, just disconnect between the two. That should not be the case at all. There should always be consistency.
Takeaway and conclusions. Questions. Are all types of discrimination illegal or is it a matter of social standards? For example, the Civil Rights Act only mentioned four, which is your ethnicity, your color, your race, your sex. But it didn't say about your age. It didn't say about your grade. It didn't say about your disability. The question is, what kind of, is it also discrimination when you go to school and you have a GPA of 2.9, but the school only have these standards of 3.0? Yes, it is legal. But come to think of it, is it also discrimination? If a person has disability of if asthma, a person that can work in a regular daily basis from retails, from supplies, why they cannot work in military installations? Why they cannot be recruited in military if they're disabled, knowing that they're doing the same job as some of the military personnel does? The only difference is they wear uniforms and they do push-ups. In business, discrimination doesn't always mean what is right and wrong. It matters what is legal and what is not.